Hey everyone, and greetings from Radio Wasteland Records. It is time once again for our weekly check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. Just the tip of the iceberg of a very big week of new releases, by the way. We're just going to cover the highlights. But if you'd like to see that full list, you can head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, just look for the link that says upcoming releases, click on that, and you'll see a PDF of everything that's coming out for this upcoming week. But now, though, as we'd mentioned, a lot of great new releases and a few reissues headed to our way for Friday, the 23rd of August, 2024. And kicking off that big list of new stuff, we've got something from Sabrina Carpenter. This is called Short and Sweet. Not short and sweet, short and sweet with the N. So just to be proper here, the description, embellishing as always, says that Short and Sweet showcases the scintillating spirit of Sabrina Carpenter, the pocket-sized pop star with a larger-than-life artistic presence. It goes on to say that the lyrics on this album will make you giggle and blush, and songwriting that'll make you wish you'd thought of it first. So, well, that's a lot of stuff to live up to. Short and sweet. Brand new stuff from Sabrina Carpenter. This one coming on something called Light Sky vinyl. It's kind of a light blue and whitish colored vinyl, and listing for about $35. Also on the new release front is something from Irish indie rock sensation Fontaines DC, a few different versions of their new album called Romance. Our description says that this is their debut album on XL Recordings, and it was recorded shortly after finishing their tour in support of the Arctic Monkeys. So Romance by Fontaines DC, a black vinyl version of this coming in at a suggested list price of $30. Then there is a pink vinyl indie exclusive version also coming in at $30. And then finally there's also a clear vinyl version of this also listing for about $33. So if you're interested in this brand new Fontaines DC called Romance, make sure you let us or your record store know which version you are looking for. Brand new stuff also from Sophie Tucker. This one is called Bread. Sophie Tucker, by the way, is the Grammy-nominated duo comprised of Sophie Hawley-Weld and Tucker Halpern. The title, by the way, is an acronym that stands for Be Really Energetic and Dance. I guess that encapsulates the full album experience, inviting listeners into the duo's pleasure-filled immersive world. This one coming on bone-colored vinyl, aka white-colored vinyl, and listing for about $33. Two different versions of this new one from Illuminati Hotties. This one's called Power, and the description says that tenderpunk pioneer, tenderpunk, that's a new genre on me. Illuminati Hotties is the musical project founded by producer and writer Sarah Tudson, is full of the Hotties' trademark wit, vibrancy, and undeniable fun. So two versions, as we mentioned, of Power from Illuminati Hotties. We have a clear vinyl version listing for about $25, and an indie exclusive blue-colored vinyl version also listing for $25. On the country side of new releases, we've got something brand new from Lainey Wilson. This is called Whirlwind. This is a double LP pressing from the Grammy Award-winning artist Lainey Wilson. She delivers a daringly honest look into her life and journey around the world. Again, that's according to our description. So again, Lainey Wilson, Whirlwind, the black vinyl version of that, $35. And there is an indie exclusive on tan-colored vinyl, also listing for about $35. Heading into the southern rock front, here's one called Rise Above It All from the group Georgia Thunderbolts. Mascot Records is proud to announce the latest studio album from the Georgia Thunderbolts, and this follows the band's debut release, which has quietly become a sensation, amassing millions of streams worldwide. The description goes on to say that by blending timeless rock influences with their unique flair, the Georgia Thunderbolts are paving their way as leaders in the next wave of Southern rock and roll. So Rise Above It All, this one coming on orange-colored vinyl from Georgia Thunderbolts, listing for about $30. Now something brand new from a blues legend. This is called Friendly Town from Steve Cropper and the Midnight Hour. Steve Cropper, of course, the legendary blues guitarist. Seen him and you've heard him on lots and lots of other recordings, including his own. But this is the follow-up to Cropper's 2021 album, Fired Up, which debuted, by the way, at #1 in the Billboard Blues album charts. So this brand new one called Friendly Town from Steve Cropper coming on green marbled colored vinyl, listing for about $30. And finally, on the new release front, it's another one of those, well, various artist tribute albums, and quite frankly, I don't know what to think of this. This is called A Strange Tribute to Taylor Swift. Again, various artists. I'm just going to let our description speak for itself on this. It says it's a diverse collection of musical icons from across the spectrum of genres, completely revamping the songs of country pop goddess Taylor Swift. Now, this includes performances by indie rockers The Quartets, Runaways legend Cherry Curry, platinum pop singers Tiffany and Samantha Cole, rockabilly queen Linda Gale, including many others. I'm seeing artists on here like the Dead Boys, Missing Persons, Black Oak, Arkansas. It's kind of defies explanation with the varying of artists covering Taylor Swift. So, you know what? Maybe you're into that. This is coming from Cleopatra Records on purple colored vinyl. It's some various, and I mean various artists doing a strange tribute to Taylor Swift. This one coming in at a suggested list price of $28. Just a few on the reissue front now for the 23rd of August. Starting off with a remastered version of Photographs and Memories, his greatest hits, this of course coming from Jim Croce. This is a 2023 remix of the classic compilation album from the late great singer-songwriter Jim Croce. Includes some of his best loved songs like Bad, Bad Leroy Brown, Time in a Bottle, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, and Operator. This one looks to be on black vinyl, the 23 remix of Photographs and Memories, his greatest hits from Jim Croce, coming in at a suggested list price of $26. Up next on the reissues is something from 311, and this is Grassroots. This is 311's second studio album, and it is celebrating its 30th anniversary as an expanded double LP edition containing 5 bonus tracks coming on clear with brown swirl colored vinyl. Grassroots from 311, now a double LP, listing a little bit hefty because of that. Suggested list price on that is $47. Here is something from Electric Light Orchestra, Part 2. That's important, Part 2. And it's a reissue of Moment of Truth. This is the second and final album by ELO Part 2, originally released in 1994. This package is a gatefold and includes some lost photos, lyric sheets, and bonus tracks. So the Electric Light Orchestra Part 2, Moment of Truth, coming on colored vinyl. Does not say exactly what colored vinyl, of course. This one listing for about $33. Now for you fans of semi-obscure hard rock from the 80s, here is one called Nemesis coming from the band Axe. This was the Florida hard rock troupe Axe. They're getting a slick reissue. Originally released in 1984, and it was the last to feature founding guitarist Michael Osborne, who was tragically killed in a car accident shortly after recording this album. So this features some of the group's strangest songs, including Heat in the Street, Masquerade, and many more. Coming from Deadline Music and Cleopatra on silver colored vinyl, the reissue of Nemesis from the band Axe, listing fairly reasonable at a cost of $22. One more tribute to tell you about, and only because this is an interesting one as well. This is a reissue though. They released this, I believe, last year, and it's a various artists tribute of King Crimson's Court of the Crimson King called Reimagining in the Court of the Crimson King. You're going to get folks on here like Ian Pace, Mel Collins, Arthur Brown, that crazy Arthur Brown, of course, Todd Rundgren, Alan Davey, Adam Hamilton, Ja Wobble, Marty Friedman, Joe Lynn Turner is on here as well as Carmine Appice and Steve Hillage, among many, many others. This is actually a very, very cool reimagining of the album Court of the Crimson King. It's called Reimagining in the Court of the Crimson King. Some various artists on blue colored vinyl this time around from Cleopatra Records, and a list price of $28. And finally, I guess fall and therefore Halloween is right around the corner, so we're starting to see a few of these. Here is a reissue called Famous Monsters Speak, coming from Rockbeat Records. This is a reissue of a spoken word, almost radio play type of album from 1963. And it is exactly what you think it is. It's Famous Monsters Speaking. So no music on this whatsoever. But again, as I mentioned, it's kind of almost like a radio drama that you would have gotten in the 40s or 30s or 40s or 50s. So the album's first side, by the way, is and this is our description calling it, a super scary scientific convention where they play the recordings of the Frankenstein monster. So yeah, they introduced Victor von Frankenstein. Frankenstein. So just kind of playing all sorts of stuff and sound effects on here as well. Side 2, by the way, focuses on everyone's favorite vampire. I didn't know you could have a favorite vampire, but I guess. Dracula in a story where someone stumbles upon the location of his crypt. So again, radio drama from the 60s in the style of radio drama of the 40s. Famous Monsters Speak, this one coming on red and black colored vinyl. And you know what? A respectable list price for something of this nature. $20 is the suggested retail price of Famous Monsters Speak. So a very fun one if you're into that type of Halloween type of vinyl reissue. And that will do it for our look at the highlights of the releases coming out for the 23rd of August, 2024. If you're local and you see something you'd like, just contact us here at the store. Now, if you'd like to see the full list, all of the stuff that we didn't get to talk about, just head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, you can find the PDF that lists everything for this upcoming week. That list, by the way, updates on our website every Friday or Saturday, depending upon when I get to it. So just regardless, if you check that website once a week, you can find out that full list. So that will do it for this week's upcoming releases. By all means, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, do all the stuff you like to do. And we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks for being here.